The clip you just saw is part of a real incident that unfolded in Shreveport, Louisiana. Behind it is a case involving Shamar Elkins, and a chain of events that investigators are still trying to fully understand. Shreveport, Louisiana, breaking incident footage. What you're watching is real footage connected to one of the most disturbing cases in recent U.S. history. A single morning in Shreveport would end in tragedy, involving multiple lives, a family home, and a man named Shamar Elkins. A recent police reports about him states that
this morning, officers responded to a shooting that occurred just after 6 a.m. In doing so, we determined that this was a domestic call in nature. The responding officers located a crime scene here in the 300 block of West 79th Street, and this is a rather extensive crime scene spanning between two residences here. There is also another residence on Harrison Street that is part of this crime scene as well. Right now, we have at least 10 individuals that were struck by gunfire last night in a domestic disturbance. 8 of these individuals are deceased. The ranges of the decedents are from 1 year of age to approximately 14 years of age. All of the deceased in this case are juvenile. The individual responsible, once leaving this scene, performed a carjacking right here in close proximity to the corner of West 79th and Linwood, at which point in time, Shreveport Police Patrol officers got behind that vehicle and a chase ensued. The vehicle was chased into Bossier Parish, and at which point in time, Shreveport police officers did discharge their firearm, and that individual is deceased. We do believe him to be the only individual that fired gunshots at these locations here. He is deceased, and Louisiana State Police will be taking over that portion in which the Shreveport police officers discharged their firearms. So we don't have any more information on the shooting that occurred at Bossier. What we can tell you is this is a domestic disturbance here in the 300 block of West 79th Street. This is a very large scene with multiple deceased children present, and so we're going to ask for patience in us getting information out. We will release the name of the suspect that is deceased when we have made the proper notifications. We do know that some of the children inside were his descendants.
in the early hours of a quiet Sunday morning in Shreveport, Louisiana, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. But within a short time, everything changed. A family home became the center of a violent incident that would leave an entire community in shock. 8 children would lose their lives. Multiple others would be injured. And at the center of it all was a man known as a father and husband, Shamar Elkins, a 31-year-old whose actions that morning would spark one of the most devastating domestic-related tragedies in recent U.S. memory. But to understand how things reached that point, we have to go back to the beginning of that morning. Authorities say the first emergency calls came in just after 6 a.m. Police were responding to reports of gunfire in the Cedar Grove area of Shreveport. What began as a domestic situation inside a residence quickly escalated into something far more severe. Investigators believe the first incident involved Elkins' wife, who was critically injured inside the home. At that point, the situation had already begun to spiral beyond control.
Juveniles were shot and killed, spanning from ages 18 months to 14 years old. Police say most of these children were shot in the head. Another child was in the home, and he did escape the gunfire, but he is being treated at a local hospital.
I just don't know what to say. My heart is just taken back. I want to let the community know that all of my resources are out here processing every piece of evidence at every scene, and at some time in the near future we'll be able to give some more conclusive information about exactly what took place.
An adult woman was in the home at the time, and she was shot but escaped to the house next door. While she was in there, she did call Shreveport police. In connection, another adult woman was in a different location in the same neighborhood on Harrison Street. She was shot in the face and is still in critical condition. She is believed to be the mother of some of the victims. A man who claims to be her father, Bulo Mays, was at the scene this morning.
I was just with my grandbabies the other day, and we was having so much fun. And I say for any grandparent out there, Be happy. Be happy with your grandkids and have fun with them. I'm just praying that everything will be all right for my daughter. She's in the hospital right now. She's fighting.
In total, there are 11 victims, again, 8 dead and 3 living. The suspect is also dead. He was shot and killed in Bossier by Shreveport police after he fled the scene in a stolen car. SPD believes multiple firearms were used in the crime. Justin, SPD has confirmed that the shooter is named Shamar Elkins.
The pursuit eventually came to an end when officers located the suspect's vehicle. A confrontation followed. Police say officers engaged the suspect, and he was later pronounced dead at the scene. With that, the violent chain of events came to an end. But the impact had only just begun. Investigations continue. One question remains unanswered. How did a single morning spiral into such a devastating chain of events? A family has been shattered. A community has been changed forever. And the search for answers is still ongoing. If there is one thing this tragedy leaves behind, it is a reminder of how quickly everything can change in a single moment. So guys, welcome to the end of the Era's story. Subscribe for more real-life documentary stories like this. This is Trends Update 247.